All right, this is a brief discussion on dietary calculations. So, the objectives for this exercise is for you to determine your body mass index, see if you are overweight, underweight, or do you have a normal BMI, and then calculate for your desirable body weight, your energy, and macronutrient requirements, and then translate this into a dietary prescription. And then the ultimate goal is for you to create a sample meal plan. But for this discussion, I will just cover a few things before our face to face class. All right. Okay, so for this exercise, you're going to use yourself as a subject. So you need to complete this profile, your age, gender, physical activity, the number of hours of sleep, your body frame, height, and weight. Body frame will need to be demonstrated during our F2F class, so you don't have to mind this for now. All right, I'm going to use myself as an example. So, okay, age 31, gender F, physical activity. All right, so for physical activity, you're going to use the end up physical activity list, which can be found on the food exchange list for meal planning. So this is the tool that nutritionists and dietitians use as a guide to create a sample meal plan. So this contains food items from different food groups and the number of or the approximate amount of size per exchange. Exchange is different from serving. So let me see. Okay, all right. Nope, nope, that's not an example. All right. Okay. All right. So, say for example, one exchange of a vegetable. One exchange of vegetable would mean it's either half cup raw or half cup cooked. You'll appreciate more about what exchanges mean if when we tackle on the food exchange list or creating the sample meal plan, but that will be on the later part. All right. All right. Okay, let's focus first on determining your BMI. We need to have your physical activity, and you can find that on page 16. Okay, so these are physical activity levels and values, which would translate into kcal per kilogram body weight by occupational work intensity. So there are one, two, three, four types of physical activity. We have sedentary, meaning mostly resting with little or no activity. Say for example, if you are for the whole day you're just sitting down or lying down, you don't have any physical activity like walking or you don't have any exercise, then your activity level is sedentary, which is 30 kcal per kilogram body weight, right? Light, if you are or if you have minimal movement, mostly sitting, desk work, or standing for long hours, and or with occasional walking. Say, for example, if you're a professional, clerical, technical workers, administrative, and managerial staff. These are for people who are um, who have different occupation. Okay, so for this type of work, they belong in the light activity level. Housewives with light housework are also under light physical activity. Right. Moderate occupations that require extended periods of walking, pushing or pulling or lifting or carrying heavy objects such as cleaning, domestic services, waiting table, home building tasks, farming, patient care. That's 40. Very active or vigorous require extensive periods of running, rapid movement, pushing or pulling. So if you are undergoing exercise, if you do run for more than 30 minutes a day or exercise for more than 12 hours a day, then that can be considered very active or vigorous. Or if you engage in high intensity exercises, then you belong to the very active or vigorous activity level. Right. So, other than that, we have extensive total body movements. So, teaching a class or a skill requiring active and strenuous participation, such as aerobics or physical education instructor. So, this is what I have been saying a while ago. So, that would be 45 kcal per kilogram body weight. So, I am considered in light activity level because I do occasional walking, standing. Okay, so let's go back to our activity sheet. So that's light, that's 35. So I'm gonna put 35 kcal per kilogram body weight, or meaning that is light. Or you can just put light. Hours of sleep average is 6 hours a day. 6 hours a day. Height in feet would be, you can have it in feet, you can also have it in centimeter. So in this case, I'm asking for feet, but the calculation would require for you to convert this into centimeter. So if you know your height in centimeter, you can just put it in centimeter. So I'm very short. I'm just 147 centimeters. My weight is at 59 kilograms at the moment. Let's proceed to calculate your BMI. Okay, so how do we calculate? So here we go. All right, so in the Philippines, we are using the metric system. So that's in kilograms, meters, in feet, etc. So you don't have to, I'm going to give you a copy of this, but um, as a start, just use this video recording. Alright, so we skip step one because in this we convert weight in pounds to kilograms. We don't use this because again we're using metric system, so we are already measuring weight in kilograms. So you don't mind step one. Let's go to step two. Alright, if you don't know your height in meters or centimeters, then you need to convert your height in feet to inches, then from inches to centimeters, and finally from centimeters to meters. So say for example, if the height is 5'7", this is the conversion. 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inch, 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, and 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters. Therefore, you multiply feet by inches. So 5 feet times 12 inches plus 7. This is for, again, whose height is, for a person whose height is 5'7", as an example. So 5 times 12, that's 60 plus 7. So we have 67 inches. Convert that into centimeter by multiplying it by 2.54. We have 170.18 centimeter, and then convert it into meter by dividing it by 100 centimeters, and we have 1.7018 meters. Therefore, now we compute BMI. So BMI is in weight kilograms divided by height in meters squared. So let's go back to our example. This is already in centimeter. We just need to convert this into meters. All right, let's convert it first. Okay, right. Okay, 147. Okay, that's 147 centimeter divided by 100 centimeter to determine the meters. So we have 1.47 meters. You can also directly calculate for square. or all right. So there's actually just many ways to do that. You can either determine the meter squared for this, or you can just go directly to BMI and then solve for the meter squared. All right, so that's the formula again is weight in kilograms divided by height in meters squared. So our weight is 59 kilograms divided by height in meters squared. Therefore, that's 1.47 m squared, or okay, that's squared. All right. So 59 kilograms divided by, determine the square. So that's 1.47 times 1.47. We have 2.1609 meters squared. All right. So 59 divided by 2.1609, that's 2.27, sorry, 27.30. You can just round it up to the nearest second decimal point. So this is in kilograms meter squared. Okay. So we need to determine this, okay? Because if we're just going to look at the number, it doesn't mean anything. So we need to classify it. So to determine your nutritional status, we will be using the classification according to WHO or World Health Organization and CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So nutritional classification is, let's go to our notes. Dietary notes. So this is the classification according to WHO and CDC. So less than 18, a BMI less than 18.5 is underweight. 18.5 to 24.9, that's normal. 25 to 29.9, that's overweight. Greater than or equal to 30, that's obese. So based on this BMI, which is 27.30, it is overweight, right? So I am already overweight. Okay, now that we have our BMI, let's proceed to determine our desirable body weight using Tannhauser's method. All right. So actually there are six methods. No, actually we have seven methods to determine desirable body weight, but Tannhauser's method is the most common method used in the Philippines. So we will be using that. All right, so how do we use this method? First step is you need to express your height in centimeter. And then second step would be to deduct 100 from your height in centimeter, and then we need to do an adjustment for Filipino stature by deducting 10%. All right, because culturally we have different genes from um, different races. All right, so our um, desirable body weight is, the calculation for desirable body weight is designed to meet our genetics, our race. So we are deducting 10% for Filipino stature. So this is designed by Tannhauser. All right, and recommended by NDAP. Okay, so say for example, we have male 5'7", so we need to express height in centimeters. from inches. So from 5'7", we have again 170.18 centimeters. And then to determine desirable body weight, we need to deduct 100. This is a factor, this is constant. So we have 70.18 kilograms. And then we need to adjust for Filipino stature if you're Filipino. So you determine 10% of 70.18 kilograms. So 70.18 kilograms, 10% of that is 7.018. And we have 63.162 kilograms or 63 kilograms. We actually have a rule for rounding. So for kilograms, we round it off to the nearest zero point 0.5. So in this case, 63.162 is closer to 63. So we round, the final answer is 63 kilograms. All right. Okay. Let's do the first step. We already have our height in centimeters, which is 147 centimeters. And the next step would be determine desirable body weight by deducting 100. So we have 47 kilograms. And then next step would be to adjust for Filipino stature. So adjustment. So we have the final desirable body weight is 47 kilograms minus 10% of 47. So that's 47 kilograms. 10% of 47 is 4.7. So 4.7 kilograms. So our answer 47 minus 4.7, that's 42.3 kilograms, or um following the rule of rounding off to the nearest point 0.5, this is closer to what? Um, let's see. 42.3. 42.3 is closer to 42.5 kilograms. Again, nearest point 0.5. So we round it up to 42.5 kilograms. So this is the desirable body weight. I will be discussing more on this before we continue with the rest of the exercise. All right. So next, we have another the formula for determining your desirable body weight. So we have Peterson et al., which is formulated last 2016. So in this case, there are instances wherein patient would have a targeted BMI, for whatever reason they deem necessary for them to achieve a certain BMI. Perhaps uh, an athlete would, want to gain weight according to their BMI um, requirement. All right, so say for example, target BMI is 21 kilogram per meter squared. Actually, the 21, a BMI of 21 is deemed healthy, although it's not that recommended, but it's deemed healthy and it's common for most. Okay, healthy for most. Okay, height in meters squared, it's no, sorry, height in meters. Let's still use the same profile, so 1.47 meters. So the formula for Peterson et al, we have the US formula, we also have the metric. Again, we are using metric, so we are going to use the second equation. All right. So we are going to copy this, paste that here. Right. So as you can see here, 2.2, 3.5, and 1.5 meters are all constants. You just need to substitute for BMI and height in meters. All right, so again, we are determining your desirable body weight using Peterson et al. In the sense of targeting a specific BMI. Okay, 2.2 times your BMI, which is 21, plus 3.5 times your BMI, 21 again, times height. Height is 1.47 meters minus 1.5 meters. So we're going to use MDAS method, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Okay, in that order. So let's calculate these first. So let's copy. So 1.47 minus 1.47 minus 1.5, you have negative 0.03 m. Disregard the 8. So 2.2 times 21, we have 46.2. Okay, 46.2 plus um 3.5 times 21, we have 73.5. And just give me a second. Okay. 73.5 times. Okay, just give me a moment.